Let me just.
I know.
I gotta dust off the microphone. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
It's been some shit.
It's weird all over again, isn't it?
It is. Just like a little bit. But I think I'm
Should we explain ourselves?
probably. I don't even remember the last time I'm so loud. I'm so sorry.
You're okay.
You're
getting back into the groove.
I know. I don't even remember the last time we recorded.
Well, the last time we recorded was about a week and a half to 2 weeks before the last one was uploaded with CJ and Elizabeth.
Okay.
So
it's been like 2 months?
Yeah. I know. I feel bad. We've been slipping a little bit.
Yeah.
It's all right. We've been busy.
Yeah.
We've been really busy.
Well, you do have a baby, so...
True.
But, like, he's more of a baby now, so, like, he does more and requires a lot more.
He sits up on his own.
Yeah.
Today he said mama.
He did.
There's a lot of things happening.
He eats food.
He does eat food. He eats a lot of food. He's fat now.
He is so fat.
He's obese.
But, like, that, and we've been working like crazy.
Yeah, of course. That's the thing.
Or,
Is
like, holidays and stuff.
You know, when there's people that do this for a living and they need to take a break, you know, sometimes it feels weird to see that.
Yeah, because I'm like, why do you need a break?
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you need a break?
Which, like, burnout is totally valid, though.
Yeah.
Especially with that kind of stuff. Because, you know, there's times, like, things that don't even require a lot of effort creatively, I just get totally burnt out on. And I get so caught up in the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Which is an easy excuse when you have a 9-to-5 and a baby. But,
yeah.
like, you know...
Like, you don't get it until you're in it.
For real. I'm
like,
such a I'm such a boomer now.
Just, like, how fast, like,
Such
everything goes by.
Yeah. So, for timeline's sake, for future binging, it's been about 2 months since the last episode where we talked about wrestling with CJ and daddy issues and all the lovely things that come with that.
Yeah.
And we wanted to start anew. We wanted to get back into it with something that would be easy, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like starting a conversation with icebreakers or doing like speed dating. I feel like it's just like kind of lighting a fire under your ass in regards to whether it be conversation or just whatever it is. So we're going to do something a little stereotypical. You seem pretty pumped about it, though.
I am so... Well...
Do you want to be the one who says it?
Yeah. So, like, this is stereotypical, don't get me wrong, because there's, like, a ton of these out here. Like, I don't know if there's a ton. There probably is.
What?
Like, Reddit podcasts.
Yeah.
Reddit podcasts.
There's a ton.
There's a ton.
It's oversaturated, but you know what?
We're gonna do it.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, I feel like it's only such a huge thing because it's relatable. Because I feel like it's not just relationships like ours where you're on Reddit and you're just scrolling through and you find some crazy fuck shit and you're like, hey, Zach, guess what? And then we start a discussion about the Reddit post. These are things that happen organically just in our relationship. And I feel like that happens a lot, which is why people gravitate towards those a lot. Sorry, I'm cracking open a brewski. And, like, I feel like that's just, you know, relatableness equals popularity when it comes to online content. So I think that's why. Oh, it's foaming all over me.
Oh my god.
You like that?
It exploded.
You like that?
I love it.
Okay, it's really going, though. I don't know why it's still going. I'm just going to catch it all with my leg, though.
Ew. But okay.
It's still going.
Okay, well, drink it or something. There's a baby crying.
That was a baby cry. It's still foaming.
Okay. Wait.
Is this ASMR?
Shh.
What?
I want to see if you stop crying.
Oh. Are we whispering now?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
No. It stopped. Okay, so I have gathered...
My beer is still foaming, but go on.
Lots of Reddit stories. From a variety of Reddit. So it's not just Am I the Asshole?
Thank God.
Because I know people get tired of that, but also they're like being a mom now. I'm in like mom and parenting ones.
Ooh, fun.
And that's some crazy shit. I'm gonna start off with an older. Ooh, sorry. I'm gonna start off with an older. Am I the asshole? And are you ready?
Well, you curated all of these.
I did.
Okay.
And it is such a variety.
Do you know what all these are already?
Some of them, yes.
Okay.
Some of them I just saved because I saw the title. But you won't know any of them.
I don't know any of these.
This one that I'm gonna read first, you might know. I saved this one a whole year ago.
Jesus. Okay.
Because I just thought it was so crazy.
Okay.
So here we go. This is from r/Am I the Asshole?
Yes.
Am I the asshole for making a real life PokeDex of girls at my university?
I'm gonna open. Here's how I want to do this. I want to open it up with my first reaction just off of the title, which isn't indicative of if he's actually a douchebag or not.
Yeah.
But just off the rip, at school, that tells me you're young.
At my university.
Oh, university?
Yeah.
That's a little tougher. That's kind of tough.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead with a solid probably.
Probably?
I'm going to hit you with a probably.
Okay. So, freshman year of college, I began working on this project casually. I like to keep notes on women I talk to about their favorite things, activities they enjoy, gifts/candy they like, sappy shit like that. I suck at remembering things like that, so I decided to keep a spreadsheet.
Okay.
Eventually, after getting a handful of entries, I offhandedly mentioned it to my friend group. One had the idea that I share it with them so they could all keep new entries as they caught different entries. So this expanded further. Right now, about 40 guys have access to it, and it's mainly the guys in my frat. And the women featured are girls from different sororities. Whoa. We have also added more information such as like where you should take them if you really want to impress them. We don't keep this information for any nefarious or scumbaggy reasons.
I don't necessarily buy that, but sure, go off.
Just to help us know what to do if we want to impress certain girls. Like, the original idea of this was just to keep information like favorite colors so I didn't ever forget their favorite colors. Now it's helping a lot of guys. Somehow, a girl who was on the list found out, and she was pissed the fuck off.
Oh, no.
She was eventually able to trace it back to me, so I assumed someone who was simping for her snitched when the Pokédex wasn't making the girl like him. So she's pissed off and made
pissed on me.
Yeah. And made it out to be a guide to hooking up with women when it's most definitely not that. It's just to make impressing them on dates easier. That's it.
Hey, dude. I don't know how to tell you this, but it's you. Okay, so he says it.
I'm not even done yet.
I know, but he says that over 40 dudes have access to this thing. Not everybody has the same intentions as you, dude.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say that 90% of them are trying to bag chicks with it. If it's working, I mean...
That's the thing.
That's kind of cool, but like...
She's made a big deal of this, telling so many girls around campus, and now they're all saying that by the start of the fall semester, none of them will be visiting our fraternity or going to any of our parties. Now all the guys are mad at me when I'm not even the one who told the girls about the list, and they were all also using the list. I also think it's unfair to say the list was all about sex when it wasn't at all.
For you.
Am I the asshole?
Yeah, you are. But like, this isn't like one of those ones where it's like, I fucking beat my child with a turkey baster. Am I the asshole? It's nothing like that. But you're definitely,
So on like a scale of like 1 to 5.
1 to 5? Ooh. I'd call him like a true neutral 3.5. Slightly above average asshole. It's like you're a dickhead, but like, you're going to make the argument that it's not about that when you know damn well if you're giving it to 40 dudes in college, like, yeah, that's...
I'm sorry, one...
That is kind of wacky, though.
I think it's weird. One, I think it's weird you want to keep a list.
Did he separate them into types like Pokemon? Like fire type and water type?
I feel like it was just like a table that was like their name, their favorite color,
yeah,
what they like to eat, where to take them,
Yeah.
what they like, anything like that.
Do you think Angelica evolved?
Maybe. They just like added new columns
Yeah.
of different. I think that's so
Tracy needs an
weird.
Everstone.
Or did
to
like
evolve.
every girl have their own like Excel workbook page?
Yeah.
Is that how it went?
Probably. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm
They compared it
concerned
to
about.
they compared it to a PokeDex, which makes
Yeah.
me think that, you know, it was just like a individual page with, you know, chick's name and then information underneath, or like likes volleyball or
Yeah,
some other shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Loves Jaeger bombs.
Or at
you
least
know.
that's like what it started. I think where he becomes the asshole is when he shared it, not only just sharing it with his friends,
Mm-hmm.
because I still think that's asshole-ish, but when you share it with 40 people,
Yeah.
do you know those 40 people well enough to believe that they're not using that to like
Yeah, I'm
charm
sorry,
some
but
girl?
I don't know 40 people well enough. You know, I don't know fucking 15 people well enough to be able to say that.
Yeah.
But
But they're not going to use it for. Of course, they're using it for. Are you kidding? So then there's an edit.
or at least they're trying.
Yeah.
It's not working very well, apparently.
No. So then there's an edit. I'm not a stalker. There was no information in it that could
No,
have
I don't think
been used to hurt
I don't think
someone.
he's a stalker.
Only to have a better date. And it isn't about sex. I never used it for sex. I'm sorry.
Dude,
You never
you.
used it.
I'm
But
telling you.
like,
You know what I think?
as a
I think it would actually
stereotype-
be. I think it would actually be a pretty cool experiment if he was, you know, giving the women a heads up beforehand. It's like, hey, is it cool if I record you in this little Pokédex I'm putting together? Because I bet you that book is fun to look at.
probably.
I bet you it is.
Probably.
If they really get nitty gritty.
Men really think, like, no offense, but like men really think about like weird things. Like they pinpoint weird things.
yeah,
I don't know, like they'll
it's not-
notice or like make note.
Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and pretend that it's just dudes that do that. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay,
fine.
that's fair. I mean,
It's
they just do
different
it.
things.
It's just very
just
different.
things. But no, you're right. People pay attention to weird things. Everybody has
Yeah.
their own specific icks,
So
or their
that's-
own specific details that they focus on. And we're back.
Needed a break, and to add a guest to the show.
Yeah, we had to add the boy because he was a little upsetty. He's also sleeping in his own room now, like a big kid. Which just so happens to be right off of the office. So.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, now. But
And it's summertime, so it's still kind of light out.
yes, yeah, the sun was beaming in through his windows, and I looked through the camera, and it looked like a heavenly light was shining on his face, and all he was doing back was screaming at God. So, you know, what are you gonna do? Anyway, I think we were done with Pokédex, right?
We
Just
were.
about. I
Yeah,
mean, we
so-
finished it. We didn't really have many thoughts other than the fact that it would be kind of neat if, you know, he was, you know, giving permission, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm one to talk about the college dating scene,
Yeah.
but
Well, the overall vote was asshole.
yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah,
I
he's
feel
an
like he
asshole.
kind of knows that he is, though.
The top comment was like, "Don't even try to pretend that this wasn't like a thing about sex, because even if it wasn't about sex, it was for you. It was for somebody else." Like it's pretty much like stop playing ignorant. Come on,
Oh yeah,
for sure.
which true. Now, in your library here,
Yeah,
you said we have a variety of.
I do.
Oh boy,
I was about to take a break from Am I the Asshole and move on to a different one.
what do we got? Hit me
Okay,
with it.
so this is from r/pregnant
Oh shit,
that I found. It is a treasure.
a treasure.
Yeah. My mother-in-law
Yes.
announced our pregnancy in an obituary.
Whoa. What? For who? Whose obituary?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose obituary?
Well, we'll find out.
You gotta
ready?
help me here.
You ready for this?
No.
All right. So I'm a 9 weeks first time mom and
Okay.
we haven't told anyone yet.
9 weeks. Okay.
Like new.
Yeah.
The only reason she knew is because I passed on wine and charcuterie at the family dinner 2 weeks ago, and she guessed. We confirmed her suspicions, but told her under no circumstances should she tell anyone else.
Yes, been there.
At the time, I hadn't even been to the doctor to confirm.
Holy shit.
My husband's aunt passed away, not unexpectedly.
Oh, no, and she put, like, survived by... Oh.
On Saturday, they posted the obituary that mother-in-law wrote today. And in the section talking about family, it says aunt to XYZ and soon to be great aunt to the child of husband and OP. I was at work and hadn't seen the obituary and had no idea until his family group chat and the Facebook post started blowing up. Ooh. Baby hit the phone. Started blowing up with people congratulating us and asking if we were pregnant. Then, because people were tagging us in the comments on Facebook, all of my family and all of our friends saw it, and now they know as well. I'm just so sad. I had a cute way planned to tell my parents, and instead they found out from a social media post. It's our first and the first grandchild on both sides, so I was really excited and looking forward to telling people in person and seeing their reactions.
I'd have fucking killed somebody.
Yeah, right?
I would have lost my marbles.
I'm also just not comfortable with people finding out this early. I'm terrified that something is going to happen. We haven't even had our dating ultrasound yet.
True.
My husband talked to his mom and told her that really wasn't okay, and her response was sort of, I didn't realize it would be a big deal, but there's nothing we can do about it now. I didn't even feel like I can be upset with her because she is grieving the loss of her sister, but I also feel like she took something away from me that I can't get back.
Yeah, she's also a moron.
How big of a deal do I make about this?
Oh, gee, that's tough.
I have updates, so do you want to wait until the updates are finished, or do you want to give your thoughts now?
We can go bit by bit. Like, we can talk a little bit about it now. I mean, honestly, of course, I'd absolutely lose it. Like, I'd go nuts. I'd go absolutely berserk.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. How do you handle it? That's a loaded question.
Or it was, how big of a deal do I make about this?
Yeah, like, I don't know your family. Like, if it was our family, oh, man. Like,
not gonna lie, I can totally see your grandmother doing something
yes. That's actually who I had in my brain.
Really?
For who would do something like that, yeah. She would absolutely do that.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, it's hard to make a big stink with her because she's just so... God, she is something else. She is a creature. She's straight, just Alabama hard ass.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be kind of tough to really make a stink about it because it just wouldn't faze her. You know what I mean?
You know, I'd make a big deal about it.
Well, yeah.
I'm making a huge deal.
Yeah, of course. But it's just... I guess for me, I always keep a layer or like a certain level of detachment from the issue itself, which probably isn't a great thing all the time, where like I try to look at things objectively even though when it directly affects me. So like I'm always worried about like, you know, am I blowing this out of proportion and kind of disregarding my feelings in doing so? And I don't think that's necessarily healthy, but that's kind of how I go about these things. So I probably wouldn't go super nuts about it if it was like my grandma, for instance. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if it was, say, my dad's side of the family, it'd be over.
Yeah. I think that is like, especially with it being now, okay, so if she was like trying to keep it secret for like a while,
yeah,
and like a slip up happens, like most of the family knows it's just not like public yet,
yeah,
then I would be a little bit more.
It's so fucking disappointing too.
But like at 9 weeks,
yeah,
and to like, don't get me wrong, I love my aunts,
yeah,
so like that's me though. I don't know their family dynamics, but that's kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
to do that in an obit is super fucking strange.
It's so strange.
Super strange. I don't know if it's just like them grasping at straws for something positive to look forward to because they lost someone that they care about, or if it's some sort of weird in like inserting yourself into somebody else's life vicariously through an opportunity you're given by writing the obit kind of deal. Either way, super weird.
If it was like a soon-to-be grandparent, then I think I would see that a little bit more than a great aunt.
Well, yeah, but it was the great.
I don't know. I'm just trying to like. It was the great aunt. So I'm like.
No, the great aunt was the one who died.
Yeah, but I'm just saying if it was like a soon-to-be grandparent that died.
Oh yeah. It would make sense kind of to mention it. Yeah, well, that's fair. That's fair. Like in my great aunt's obit, when she passes, I would find it strange for me to be in there.
Yeah. It's just odd.
You know, and I'm relatively close with her, so.
I was about to say, I mean, like, with my great aunt, it would be different.
Yeah, sure.
Because she doesn't have any kids.
Yeah, true. I mean, sometimes I forget that she's just not your grandma, you know?
Yeah, you too.
Because, I mean.
Love her. I love her to death.
She straight up has grandma energy.
She does.
Bless her.
But, like, I don't know. That's a lot. So, are you ready for these updates?
Sure, yeah, hit me with them.
Okay, so update.
He's so fascinated with the lamp.
He is. Can you all hear him?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah. He's joining in on the podcast.
Yeah.
Update. I cannot possibly reply to all of you lovely people, but thank you for validating my rage. All of your kind words make me feel not so alone, and this definitely has been a wake-up call to who my mother-in-law actually is. She is not normally like this. She is normally so loving, which is why I was trying to have a little grace with her. I was able to talk to my husband after he came home from work, and he is just as devastated as I am. He lost his dad when he was really young, so he's very close to mine and was so excited to tell him.
Yeah.
We decided to call her together and explain exactly why what she did was so hurtful. She sobbed the entire phone call and tried to claim that she didn't know we hadn't told my parents, which neither of us believe, and we told her as much, and that even if she really thought that, it was still not her place to announce it. She asked us repeatedly if we could forgive her, to which we gave a resounding no, and told her not only can we not forgive her, we can no longer trust her. Whoa. We basically ended the call by telling her we don't really want to talk with her right now, and to please not contact us until we reach out. My family also sent this text to his family's group chat, which obviously his mom is in. Hello, Walt. Thank you so much for all the love and congratulations. We are expecting, but it is still very early in the pregnancy, and this is not how or when we wanted everyone to find out. To be very honest, this is just how OP's parents found out, and we are both quite upset about that. We so appreciate and love all of you, but kindly ask that we are given a bit of space for now and at the funeral this weekend, as we are still processing the disappointment of not being able to tell everyone in our own way.
Yeah, that plus there's so much anxiety that comes with that.
Like so much.
And I'm going off of this assuming that they haven't been pregnant before.
Yeah, it didn't say.
So like if that were to happen to us now, it would be just that much worse.
It would have been it would be traumatizing.
Like if that happened with Theo, oh my god.
I would be
my god.
We didn't tell our families until the second trimester. I think we told our parents.
Yeah. Well, after our first pregnancy.
Yeah.
In how that ended up going, you know, we were on eggshells to say the least. You know, we were nothing short of terrified pretty much the whole time. So he's fine. He's making his little monkey noises. But yeah, no, the anxiety that was within me even before we told people, and just the stress of trying to figure out when the right time to tell people was, because we did tell everybody.
Yeah. Like, I mean, everybody.
With our first pregnancy, we told everyone, and then, you know, it didn't work out. So it's one of those things where that's such a terrible, terrible thing to add on to, you know, a pregnancy not working out. You know, like that's such a horrible, horrible thing to add on top
Yeah,
of
like
that.
you didn't even get to announce it.
And so the anxiety of that being a thing.
Yeah, and then like that added of like having to tell it. That's why
having to tell everybody, hey, psych, is so gut-wrenching. It's terrible.
It was so... I could only do it not sober.
Yeah.
For a long time, the only time I could talk about it was like to other people. Like to you, I talked about it all the time because I needed to.
Yeah.
But like to other people, I had to be drunk.
Yeah.
Or I could not talk about it.
Yeah.
Because it's like you spend your entire time like
it tears you up.
It tears you up. Like
Absolutely.
thinking that you did something wrong, or you know, if I didn't tell people, would, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's like you jinx it.
Yeah. Pretty much. And yeah.
So like I feel so horrible for this woman because she mentioned that they haven't even had their doctor's appointment, like their first doctor's appointment yet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the anxiety that comes with that of all of those terrible things being a possibility would just, whoo, man.
Which for like anybody who doesn't know, most of the time your first doctor's appointment isn't until you're like 9 or 10 weeks sometimes.
Yep.
Or like your initial one is maybe at like 6 or 7, but they don't do like an ultrasound or anything until later.
Yeah, they basically just, you know, give you a couple pats. Yep, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Bye.
Unless it's like, of course, like with us, we got an ultrasound, I want to say at like 7 weeks.
Well, yeah.
But we had lost a previous one, so.
Yeah, so we wanted to make sure that everything was okay.
Yeah.
So we were like, please, 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 please.
Yeah. But most of the time you don't get one until like 9 or 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Like it's a minute.
Yeah.
So like to not even like know.
Yeah.
If everything is developing properly.
Man, shaking in my boots, dude.
Yeah, that'd be awful. I feel so bad.
The little man is being such a baby right now. Yeah. He's literally sucking his thumb. Vibing. He loves the microphone.
He does. He's like, I'm not usually in this room, and he's like just bouncing up and down.
Yeah, he is looking around the room, bouncing around.
It's really cute.
It's pretty awesome. Did you say there was another update, or just that one?
Just that one.
Oh, jeez. I have a booger that's like way far back in my nose. You ever get those? And it just feels terrible. It makes you want to close your eyeball. Oh, Jesus.
Bless you. You already have another one.
Booger's still in there. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. Okay, so this is also in r/am I the asshole one. Am I the asshole for leaving my husband at home while I spent the week at my brother's because of how he, quote unquote, buys groceries?
Wait, you spent the week at somebody else's house because of how he buys groceries?
Yes. Am I the asshole for leaving my husband at home while I spend the week at my brother's because of how he, quote unquote, buys groceries?
That's a hard depends. You're going to have to fucking whip some shit out to not be the asshole, because for me, leaving the house is such a...
I love this story.
With any kind of argument, leaving the house is the very, very last-ditch effort. That's the last thing I want to do. I try so hard to talk things out before somebody has to leave.
Yeah.
Like, the most I've ever done was you made me really, really mad one night, and so I, took the dog for a walk for, not even half an hour.
Yeah.
But, that's the worst I'll do.
Yeah. All right. So, I've been in a committed relationship with my husband for 17 years, and overall, things have been great. We've had a few rough patches, but what's important to note is that while he earns more than me and is considered the main provider, I have a substantial trust fund that ensures we're financially stable.
Trusty.
I work part-time as a teacher while attending university, earning less than him, and most of my income goes towards tuition. Our household income exceeds $200,000 annually. While the average in our area is below 50,000.
Yeah, that is some shit.
That is upper middle class.
So how does this man buy groceries? I'm so confused as to how that could be a problem unless he's buying an extreme surplus.
Yeah. One ongoing issue we have is my husband's frugality. He likes to control my spending and have the final say on how he uses his earnings. It's worth mentioning that I've never used any of his income and have no intention to do so. However, the main point of contention between us is his frequent visits to food banks. Despite having more than enough food at home, he insists on going to food banks to save money. He intentionally looks disheveled and uses our beat-up car to blend in, even though he's never experienced food scarcity. I've explained to him the need for food donations in our community, even showing him social media posts from local food banks, but he remains indifferent. I suggest he volunteer or donate to gain first-hand experience, but he refuses.
Oh my god.
The unfortunate part is that since we're never short on food, most of what he brings home ends up getting thrown away.
Nah. Oh, man.
Today, I discovered our fridge filled with fresh produce and meat that clearly didn't come from our regular grocery store. When I confronted him, he admitted to going to a food bank after seeing a Facebook post about a donation of fresh food. People on social media were already asking if any was left, and there wasn't. I showed him these comments, but he brushed them off, claiming people should have gone earlier.
Dude,
exhausted by the situation, I packed a bag and went to stay with my brother for the weekend, asking for space to think things over. My husband accuses me of overreacting, being vindictive, and threatens to go back to the food banks regardless of my feelings. His family is also messaging me, calling me an asshole, and urging me to stop interfering with his choices.
What?
I turned my phone off, but now they're bombarding my brother with messages. Thankfully, he supports my decision and ignores them. All I want is to enjoy the rest of my week without being angry at my husband. Yes, I could let this go and not scold him, but the food he takes could have gone to people who truly need it. I'm not leaving my husband, but I need a few days away to gain some clarity. Am I wrong for wanting space?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I always ate growing up, right? I always ate, but it wasn't always super readily available, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's no secret. I mean, I'm sure on the episode with CJ we talked about it a little bit. I don't remember. It was a while ago. We talked about how our upbringing was not the most fruitful in regards to money and food and all those things. But like I said, we always ate. My mom did a bang-up job making sure we always had food, but it was not... We never really had extras. So, like...
Yeah, there was not, like, a fridge full of food and snacks plentiful when you were wanting it.
Yeah, if I wanted a snack, there was a very, very good chance that there was no snacks to be had. So it's one of those things where food was kind of like a currency in our house in a weird way. So, like, food stuff always kind of gets me, because it's like, man, dude, if you're going to take my fucking cocoa wheats, dude...
Yeah.
You're going to take my fucking cocoa wheats when you got a fucking steel... Dude, back then, if somebody had a fucking stainless steel fridge, I thought about robbing them.
Yeah.
I thought about robbing them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god.
Well, again, their household combined...
Yeah.
Annually.
So much.
$200,000 a year. The average in their area is $50,000. Yeah. I don't even make $50,000. So, like, combined, I think we make 80.
Yeah, around there.
80 or 90. Yeah. So, like, and we don't get food stamps or go to food banks or anything like that, and we make less than half of what they're bringing in annually.
Yeah, and we make enough.
Like, we make enough
to buy groceries.
So, like, I would feel dirty going to a food bank to get food.
Yeah.
Because I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Like, is it rough sometimes? Yeah. But I can afford it.
Doing the gymnastics and living rough for a week or two, that's a humbling experience for me.
For sure.
Every once in a while when I force myself to really, really get strict on a budget for like a month or so, and I just make it so we don't buy anything that we don't need, it's very humbling, and it reminds me of what it was like.
Yeah.
So stuff like that gets under me fingernails, gets under me skin, makes me real mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think she's the asshole.
She absolutely, honestly, I think that's divorce worthy.
Nah.
Oh, see, this is
that depends. That depends. I think where it becomes divorce worthy is where the disregarding of her feelings comes in.
Oh my god. And then getting his family to message her and her brother.
The act of doing that is very shitty, you know, but I don't see that as a deal breaker in of itself. I think it's just his readiness to totally fail to acknowledge her feelings in any way.
Yeah.
When it's a very simple thing that he does not need to do, that he can just go ahead and not do.
Yeah.
That's goofy.
It reminds me of reminds me of those guys on like Extreme Cheapskate. You ever watch that?
There's some cool ones though.
Yeah.
Where they go and they whip out fucking coupons. They play
that's Extreme Couponers. I'm not talking about that one.
What?
There's another one that was like Extreme Cheapskate.
Oh, that's the one where they fucking recycle bathwater.
Yeah. So there was this guy who had basically like inherited this apartment, but he was charging his roommates like an outrageous amount.
I remember this.
I mean, but he was like extreme. Yep. Like that's what it reminds me of, because he didn't need to do all that, but he wouldn't even buy cups. Like he wouldn't even go to the dollar store and buy 25-cent cups. Like he was using yogurt cups for water.
Yeah.
Like that's gross.
And you know, I'm fairly frugal. I definitely don't spend as much money as, you know, people that make the amount of money that I do, which isn't a lot, but just comparatively, I definitely lay low when it comes to spending, and I'm very big into not spending a bunch of money, and it still makes me nervous. Which
is hard when you have a baby.
Yes, yeah, and it's been difficult for me because you do make a good bit more money than I do, and ever since you got your big promotion and you are making that good chunk of change more, you can afford to like buy yourself all this stuff, and like I see that, and like I have a knee-jerk reaction to be nervous about it and to have anxiety about it.
He's not even kidding. Every time. And whether or not it's me who buys it, anytime an Amazon box shows up on our front porch, he has like a mini panic attack.
It's true.
Like I see the panic in his eyes, and I'm like, I didn't get it. Like I literally have to be like, it wasn't me.
Yeah, just today you walked in the door and you were like, I was like, oh, package.
And I was like, literally, I'm like, it is literally like, my birthday present from my mom.
I know, and I'm like, and I always feel bad about it because I don't want to make you feel bad for me being frugal on my toes or whatever, but it's a knee-jerk reaction I'm assuming it has to be from my upbringing, but it could be a million things. But
at this point I'm just like, I'm gonna buy whatever makes our lives easier.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get on that train. It's a little tougher for me.
It is, which is fine.
Yeah,
but
thanks,
you're allowed to have those feelings. They're valid.
Aww.
But okay, so overall vote,
she is not the asshole.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's my verdict.
Reddit also agreed. Not the asshole.
Yeah.
Top comment. Not the asshole. This is completely unhinged. A man making $200K while married to a woman with a trust fund going to a food bank is unacceptable. I couldn't live like that, and I also couldn't live with someone controlling how the money was spent. You are absolutely not wrong to want space. I would want permanent space.
That's an aspect that we didn't really touch on, is like the controlling money.
Yeah,
because we have separate bank accounts.
Yeah, but the fact that like
mostly separate.
The fact that if he's the main earner, right, and he won't even like let her spend any of his money. Mm-hmm. Are you like? You have been in a committed relationship for 17 years.
Yeah.
And you don't have enough trust or love in your partner to give them some money to buy something they need or something they want.
A lot of times when it comes to that level of control, like I'm assuming he has all the numbers and everything, and he has complete control over their bank accounts. Mm-hmm. That's just my guess. And usually with that comes with some kind of deceit.
Yeah.
Maybe there's money going somewhere that shouldn't be going somewhere.
Ooh, I did not think of that.
Or that's just
like Ashley Madison or some kind of like sugar baby.
Maybe not something exactly like that, but we're talking about big numbers, and I know like the frugal stuff is like, but maybe I don't know. I'm going off of the assumption that she doesn't have access to see like exactly what's going on with her money.
Yeah.
You know, and he makes a lot of money.
I'm guessing actually that their finances are completely separate, and he's in the mindset of my money is my money and you're not getting any of it.
Yeah, but my reason is why. Because, like, if you need any money from me, I send it in a second.
Yeah.
And vice versa. We're usually very, very good
$100
about that.
mark night.
Dude, we'll talk about Taco Tuesday. Don't worry. But, I'll tell the story again. But, no, yeah, like, perfect example. You go and get wasted with people from your work. Mm-hmm. And I'm expecting maybe a $50 tab. You know, because you just said, oh, I'm going to go and have a margarita or two with some people from work. I'm like, all right, cool. $50 is generous. You know, that's a couple of margs and maybe a shot of tequila or something.
It would have covered.
And then you start texting me nonsense and total gibberish later saying that you need more money. So I send you 25 more bucks and you're like, I need more. And I send you 25 more bucks. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But no, I was willing to do that because, you know, it's fine.
There's trust and communication between us.
Yeah. I think
and it's like, even though our finances are separate, that doesn't mean that, like, we're not, one, equally paying, or two, that we're not willing to...
Yeah, both of us put money into a savings account.
Yeah, in the same one.
Yeah, and...
Which we need to add my name to.
True. But, no, and, like, even though our like actual checking accounts are separate, if we're ever short on anything individually, we can always count on each other to send some cash if need be.
Absolutely.
And I think that's mostly just because we care about each other and we want each other to be okay. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that crazy amount of money, so I can't really say what his headspace is. But
exactly. I'm like, that is an insane amount of money.
In my mind, with those big numbers and his unwillingness to trust his partner with any of that money, even though she has a trust fund, that indicates some deceit to me.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit, though.
Yeah.
I think it goes, like, I think he knows he's doing something wrong because he's purposely looking disheveled.
Yes.
And driving the beat up car there.
Well, no, he's doing that so he can sell it.
That's so fucked. That's so fucked.
He can't show up in his fucking,
what do you think
his Sunday best.
What do you think he gets out of it? Because it can't just be like, oh, it's cheaper. What do you think he's getting out of it?
Well, I mean, do you think he's ever known what it's like to be poor? Because a lot of people romanticize what it's like to be...
poor?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't think he has.
Because a lot of people who have never been poor like to romanticize it as like the, you know, like the fucking, the 90s Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of shit where it's like everybody's all pulling up, they're all fucking, they're all greasers with their fucking hair slicked back and their cars without mufflers and, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, something about being dirty has a weird level of attractiveness to some people. And they don't do it as much anymore. Yeah. Now it's board shorts and chinos. But for a long time, it was, like, very grunge, very, you know, dirty, very disheveled. Mm-hmm. Very, like, that's attractive because that guy's been through stuff. And it's like...
Yeah.
And it's like, no, being through stuff does not...
Yeah.
That doesn't
for sure
go in your favor.
That's like those guys... That's like the people on, like, Fox News, where they're just like, the rich just, you know, chilling on our tax dollars and getting the food stamps, like they're just sitting and popping out kids and not doing anything on my dime.
You too, Tucker. Fucking, what are you talking about? But whatever. But yeah, no, I think a lot of that, especially when people code switch. That's what it is. It's code switching from rich to poor. That, you know, that's romanticizing being poor, and I think that's something that's not really talked about a whole lot.
No,
because it's a pretty big problem.
It is, because like a lot, like I know people who work 50-60 hour weeks.
Yeah,
you know, at my job, my staff working 50-60 hour weeks, and still like, hey, I really need you to make sure you send my pay stubs so I can keep my housing.
Yeah, or
like, I need this letter from you to make sure that I keep my food stamp amount.
Struggling is not glamorous until after you're done struggling.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing.
And even then, it's more traumatized. Like, I get very...
Yeah, and it's only glamorous to those who haven't.
Yeah. I get very, like, anxious when, like, we talk or, like, I remember those times when we were living at the apartment and, like, our main grocery store was Dollar General.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't afford to do normal grocery shopping at
we wouldn't waste
store.
gas, so we would walk to Dollar General.
And it was right across the street.
Yep. I remember that. Yeah, we didn't really have much of anything, you know. And,
We did not.
I mean, but yeah, no, it's just that's what it is really.
It's crazy.
When it comes to people code switching,
Yeah.
dressing up like they're poor. A lot of people do it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yep.
Moving on.
What's going on? What's
R
next?
slash.
Okay.
Am I the asshole?
All right.
I have not read this one.
What? Wait, can I read it then?
Do you want to?
I want to read it.
Okay.
You can unplug your phone for a second, right?
It's
alright.
it's already.
All right. Let me. Oh yeah.
This is a blind reaction.
All right. Am I the asshole for quote unquote kidnapping my baby, causing my husband to have a panic attack? What do you think?
I think right off the bat, yes.
I'm thinking it's probably going to be some kind of fake kidnapping just to like see what he does, maybe. Who knows? People are doing all sorts of crazy
I'm gonna
shit
say from the title, yes, but I'm gonna guess because I've read similar stories. I'm gonna say by the end, I'm probably gonna say they're not the asshole.
now. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I, 29 female, recently started working again after having my daughter for 4 months. Okay, sorry. I don't know how to read these things. I don't read Reddit very much. Daycare is too expensive, so my husband, 35 male, reluctantly agreed to stay home. It's important to know that he's been unemployed since 2021. He receives benefits. It's also important to know that he's extremely lazy. He doesn't cook, clean, or help out in any way. I was nervous about leaving her home with her father, but I had no choice. That is never good. When I came back from work, she was clean and sleeping. The next few times I came home, he was either playing with her, feeding her, or out for a walk with her. I was happy. A few days ago, my neighbor told me that as soon as I leave, the baby cries, and she cries for hours. My neighbor said that she knocked on our door, and he finally answered it. He was sleeping. I concluded that he sleeps all day and right. I'm assuming night. I don't know. All day and right, period. You know. He sleeps all day, and right before I come home, he pretends to care for her. I decided to take the day off of work. I left home at my regular time, waited 30 minutes, and then went home. Sure enough, he was knocked out asleep with his stupid noise-canceling headphones on. I went to my daughter's room, scooped her up, and took her to my friend's house. I waited about 2 hours, and I finally called him to tell him that I was coming home early. He called me back saying that he can't find the baby. He told me that he was going to call the police, but before he did, I told him what I did. He called me an asshole, and a lot of other words too. When I got home, his mother was there, calming his nerves, because he had a panic attack. She also called me an asshole. My husband decided to sleep at her house. Aww. Family members are telling me that I'm a terrible person. I know that it was extreme, but I don't know if I would consider myself to be an asshole.
Oh, wait. Just hold on 1 second. So it is...
There's an update as well, so...
Is that the end of the post?
Yes.
Before the update?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it isn't... So you're the asshole because you caught your husband abusing your daughter? Abusing and neglecting your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
What? No?
This is where it gets complicated. Because I don't think it's as simple as that for me.
What?
No.
He was wearing noise-canceling headphones.
He knew what he was doing.
And
he
the
was
baby
being a
was
shitty
crying.
person. He was being a bad dad.
He was leaving the baby to cry all day and for hours and hours on end to the point where the neighbor heard and knocked on the door.
Yeah. I think... I don't know if they're an asshole. I think maybe there is a better way to do it, though. But I'm not entirely sure that she was an asshole for that. I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
I think it was more or less just, when you do get home, don't say that you're coming home early. Just leave for half an hour and then come back and then catch him. and then bitch him out, say what you're going to say, leave him. Leave him. I'm not normally a leave him type of dude.
The worst.
I'm not usually about that. But you've already said that he doesn't do anything, and while
you were nervous to leave all of yours daughters.
Yeah.
Like both of you.
And I'll be honest, like recently I've been in a little bit of a slump, and I feel like I haven't really been keeping up with things around the house like I should, and you know there's weeks or times or periods that are like that where you know you just can't keep up, you know. That shit happens. But when it became evident to me that you need to leave him is when you said that you were nervous to leave your child at home with their father.
Yeah.
What?
The fuck?
What? Now, I know early on you were nervous to have Theo home alone with me.
Yeah, but that was like, one, that's postpartum anxiety.
Yeah.
And two, it's because you were never around a baby.
True. I never had babies in the family, really. It was never a thing. Like my younger brother, but he was in the hospital for a long time.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, now I'm just like, I can come home late. Like, I can come home later. I don't have to rush home.
Yeah.
You know, to get the baby, because I'm like, oh, Dad has him. He's fine.
Yeah. But, no, that's terrible. Is when you have that feeling that you don't trust your significant other with your child.
Yeah.
I trust very few people with Theo.
Yeah.
I'm very anxious when it comes to that. But I feel so great when he's with you. Yeah. That's the only time I can really feel calm.
Yeah. Agreed.
Because like, any other way, I'm like...
I know.
I'm on edge.
And it's like even...
Well, there's a few other... Like, my mom's really good with him.
Yeah. Like, our moms... Like, I'm not saying that I don't trust our moms or anything. It's just I trust you more.
Yeah.
It's just... And it's not even fully that. It's just like, you know, we have talked at great lengths about our parenting.
We know how we want to parent. We are on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I don't have those long talks with either of our parents. Yeah. Because it's kind of weird.
Yeah. We suggest things. Like my mom tried getting him hooked on Coco Melon, and we had to shut that down.
So fast.
We had to shut that down for sure. We got him on the Bluey instead, which is way better. Bluey's so fucking good. But yeah, no, like we don't sit for hours and hours and hours and talk about the nitty gritty type of things.
No, but like we're on the same like wavelength about like on the same page for sure.
Are you ready for the update?
I am so ready for this update.
Let's see what we got. Okay. Update. Sorry, I created this account just to post my story. I'm not a big Reddit user. I missed so many wonderful messages from people. The last few days have been crazy. Once I finally told everyone what happened, many took my side. My ex-husband and mother-in-law still think I'm a jerk. My friend allowed my daughter and I to move in with her, which is nice. We were living in a bad area before, so this can be a fresh start. My ex-husband has not asked to see my daughter for the past week. Oof. Online, he's saying how I ruined his youth by trapping him with a baby. Nice. I don't care anymore. I'm in a nice routine with my daughter. I took her to the hospital, and they found signs of neglect. I explained the situation. The doctor advised me to press charges against my ex-husband. I think I will. But I'm safe. My daughter is safe. To be honest, I probably won't come back on Reddit. But I wanted to thank everyone for everything.
Okay. Just remind me again the dad, quote unquote dad's age.
Oh.
You turned it off. I got it.
I threw the phone at you.
You did.
Like a frisbee.
35.
Yeah.
She ruined his youth.
With a 4-month-old baby.
Entrapped him with a 4-month-old baby.
I have a theory about this man. He can't get pussy.
No.
That's my theory.
No. Sorry.
Men who are in their mid-30s who are mad that they're not in their 20s anymore are just men who never got pussy.
See, I called that flag. I'm like, that's straight up neglect.
Yeah, it is.
Horrible.
Yeah, it is.
What a douche.
Well, I'm glad she left him.
Yes.
That made me happy. I am relieved for the child because that is rough.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a break from Am I the Asshole stories, and I have a post.
Yes.
On r/shit mom groups say.
Oh, I love mom groups. Oh, so, dude.
This like subreddit posts, sometimes it's like longer posts, but most of the time it's like screenshots of things on like Facebook mom groups. And it is amazing.
Okay.
So
Is this a screenshot?
It is a screenshot. I will read the screenshot.
What social media?
I want to say it looks like Facebook.
Okay.
Looks like Facebook.
Okay.
The title on this post is just "Yikes on Bikes."
Okay.
So here's the post.
Please.
Coming to the mom groups of them all. Our 2.5-year-old has always been a great sleeper and always been easy to go to sleep until little sister came along and we cut milk from our bedtime routine. All about 6 months ago, he is still a great sleeper. It's just getting him to actually go to sleep. For the most part, bedtime routine is the same. Major things we've tried. Water in sippy cup instead of milk. Spanking. Not even...
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Major things we have tried.
You're just gonna beat the shit out of your kid until they go to sleep?
Water in sippy cup instead of milk. Spanking. Not even phased. Him having to throw away beloved toys each time he gets out of his bed.
Whoa.
Toying with the actual bedtimes earlier, later. Nice mommy, mean mommy, loving mommy, patient mommy. Talking about bedtime early on.
There's no consistency.
Totally sprinting bedtime on him quickly. He picks out his pajamas and what toys goes to bed with him, if any. I'm kind of at a loss. I have no clue how to get the kid to go to sleep.
Stick to something for like a week.
Once he's asleep, it's fine. It's just getting him there. Willing to try anything besides milk at this time.
I will beat the shit out of my kid before I give him milk.
Why was that the second one? Why was that the second one?
That was second on... You know what? That's funny. That's like the fucking ingredient list on the back of like chocolate.
Yeah.
Where it goes from highest priority to lowest priority.
Yeah.
Number 2 is...
Spanking.
Whacking the kid.
Okay, and like...
That's insane.
I'll preface this by saying, like... Or like give this context by saying we agree to disagree on spanking.
Yes.
Like totally.
Yeah.
Because we have two very different experiences with it.
Yes.
Growing up.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Even if spanking were to ever occur, it would not be because the kid is having a normal reaction to their bedtime routine being changed.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, what's so wrong with this kid having milk before bed? You're willing to give him water before bed. Why not milk?
I'll have milk before bed sometimes. Warm milk with a little bit of honey.
Yeah, I'm like, I think that's...
People sleep on warm milk and honey, dude. Throw that shit in the microwave.
Yeah, I don't...
Oh my god.
Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But, like, also, like, are you truly, like, sticking to a routine? And, like... giving it time and explaining. Are you hanging out with your kid or are you just throwing him in his room?
Literally.
He is a toddler.
Literally.
Like, you know, even our son, like, sometimes we can just put him in his crib and he'll fall asleep on his own.
And other nights, there's nights like these where he needs to join us for the podcast.
Yeah. Where he just, like, he needs to be attached to us until he's out, like, a light.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes, like, we don't bed share, but sometimes he hangs out with our bed, like, in our bed with us until he falls asleep, and then we move him.
Yeah, we throw him in the crib, he'll wake up, do some push-ups, and then he'll pass out.
Exactly. So, like, that's one thing. But, like, do what works best for that kid, right? So, like, if he hits that 2.5 and he's not sleeping well in his own bed, and he's constantly crawling into mommy and daddy's, and none of us are sleeping because we keep trying to move him into his bed, we're just gonna do what it is and make sure all 3 of us sleep. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what matters. Why doesn't it matter... Like, all of the nitty-gritty stuff. Just make sure your kid is sleeping. Do what is best to help them sleep.
Once it gets to a certain point, though, you know, when you're a fucking 16-year-old...
Okay.
Just crawling into bed.
Okay, I'm not saying that.
You gotta wean. You gotta wean off. Maybe
like,
then you can stop giving.
I'm more like
milk.
your 4-year-old, your toddler.
Yeah. No, I know, and I agree with that. But you're right about the whole spanking thing. We do have different opinions on that.
We do.
But I feel like the reason that it worked so well for me is because it was used so sparingly. Yeah. I can only count on one hand the amount of times I was whooped, and I think that's why it worked for me. Is because every single time I got whooped or I got smacked with a belt, it always gave me a minute to be like, whoa. I messed up. This doesn't happen. What the fuck did I do?
Yeah, for me it was quite frequent.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not gonna I won't bash my mom or anything, because my mom was pretty tame on the spanking or whatever, but it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But my mom was also one who's like me and my brother with both biters, so her solution was biting us back. I love Gen X parenting.
Yeah.
But my bio dad, on the other hand, was like really aggressive.
Yeah.
With the spanking.
He's a real piece of work, that one.
Yeah. Like, you know, wooden spoons and things like that. Like, that's when you start bringing things into your whooping. Yeah. Like your routine whooping. Yeah. I'm like, that's crossing a line.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I can look back and I can remember each individual time that I was whooped. And I still remember looking back now and being like, I deserve that.
Yeah.
I deserve that.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we have such different opinions about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Is because, just because I think spanking isn't the devil doesn't mean that I want to spank our kid.
Yeah.
I think the moment you want to spank your kid is when spanking is no longer an option.
Exactly.
You should never want to spank your kid.
Not at all.
That's weird. That's super fucking weird.
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to teach my kid to be a peaceful, non-violent child by hitting them?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Two, the thing about parenting, like old school parenting that I never thought made sense is like the whole do as I say, not as I do, or because I'm the parent or anything like that.
Oh, that's easy to understand. What do you mean?
Well, look, that's just what I don't like.
Yeah,
like, that's what I don't like about old school parenting.
It's not good, but it's easy to understand. You know, having a kid and you know, parenting, you have to change your own behavior.
Yeah.
You have to be more boring.
You do.
And if you don't want to do that, then
you have to be honest.
Yeah. And being honest is really hard for some people.
It is.
Which is odd.
Being so transparent.
I don't get that.
Even now, like, it makes... And this is something that's starting to become more common amongst younger parents and newer parents. Like, the idea of, like, calling kids genitals, like, penis and vagina, and not, like, a nickname.
Peen and vagine.
So, like, I know that's something that some people are still uncomfortable with. Like, calling their young children's body parts by the correct name.
What is Theo's dinky gonna be?
I call it his dick. I'm like, dude, I gotta clean it. Like, whenever I'm changing his diaper and he's getting mad at me, I'm like, dude, I gotta clean this shit off your dick. Like, I don't know what you want me to do.
I gotta clean this shit off your dick. You know what? I'm glad. Because I do the same thing. What is he doing?
He's getting ready to sleep. Can you hear? I'm just gonna baby ASMR.
Oh no, he's gonna eat the microphone. He went for it.
He did, sure. But he can't sit up because he's too tired.
Oh, you caught it. Well done.
But yeah, I don't know. That's like...
That's icky.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just like all about being honest. Like treating children like they're tiny humans because they are tiny humans.
Yes.
Like I'm not going to be like, oh, sweetie, no. Don't do that. That's bad. That's a bad thing to do. I'm going to be like, dude, don't put your hand on the stove. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, and you have to do all of that while being the boss.
Yeah.
And being the boss is not always easy.
It's not.
So, like, you know, you got to roll with the punches sometimes.
You do.
I'm not super worried.
Even him is like a baby who can't respond or doesn't fully understand. Like, I'm not baby talking him.
Not really, no.
No. like, when it's bedtime and he's yelling in his crib, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? It's time for bed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not being like, oh, sweetie, it's okay. It's not time to go good night. I'm not doing that. That's so fucking stupid.
He just looked around like it was a dog whistle. He was like,
yeah,
what the
he's like,
fuck?
what the fuck?
The hell are y'all doing?
And I'm also not a person who, I'm like, children shows are not on my TV, like, 24/7.
No.
Like, we watch Bluey, and we watch some Disney movies, but, like, I'm sorry, I'm still watching SVU. I do not give two shits.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to change my entire TV viewing around my
now,
children.
when he starts becoming a little bit more lucid...
Okay, yeah, then we're not going to watch SVU as my 3-year-old is coloring on the carpet. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's different. But right now, he's small, impressionable, and the only thing he really cares about is the bright colors. Let's be honest. He likes to see the bright colors whoosh around on the TV, and it makes him laugh. Other than that, he has no fucking idea what the moral of Frozen is.
No idea.
He doesn't fucking know about sisterhood. The fuck does he know about sisterhood?
Alright, I am moving on from some parenting. Most of these are parenting ones because I think they're the best conversations. Don't yell at me.
He's upset with you now.
He is.
You were talking all that shit about the shit on his dick.
I know.
And now he's mad. He's like, why you gotta air that out on the internet, bro?
Right? Okay, so this is from, and like, it is not from the OG, like, r/am I the asshole. It's from r/AITAH, which is the same thing. It's just a different subreddit. And it's, I don't know. Am I the asshole for calling my sister disgusting and banning her, my niece, and my mother from my house?
I'm gonna say no, because your sister's probably gross.
Yeah. So
that's all I got.
The title absolutely makes me sound like a jerk. I apologize in advance for the novella. Part of this is me venting, but I do want some outside perspective on whether or not I had too strong of a reaction, especially considering there are kids involved. My husband and I are both 23. My sister is 27 and has 3 kids. My 11-year-old niece, my 7-year-old nephew, and my 1-year-old nephew. My sister broke up with the baby's father and has been struggling some. My mom watches the kids while she works, when the older 2 aren't in school. And my husband and I have been watching them one day every other weekend. Nice. My 11-year-old niece is developing some really bad behaviors that we are trying to offset when we have her by teaching her self-regulation, boundaries, and healthy communication. Perfect. Right? That's what you want to teach.
Yes.
Yes. This past weekend was terrible. My niece was on level 100 all day and had been mouthing off, etc. My husband took her tablet and calmly told her to go sit on our bed for a timeout. I walked away because I needed a breather, but then I heard my husband yelp. He was red in the face and hunched over, and I could immediately tell that she had hit him between the legs, apparently bad enough that he went outside and threw up a short time later. Sorry for all the gross detail, but it emphasized why I'm so upset. Things calmed down. When my sister came to get them, I was fixing dinner. The older 2 were watching a movie, and my husband was holding the baby with an ice pack in his lap. My sister came, and I pulled her into the kitchen and told her what happened. I told her that that unless my niece's behavior improves, she can't come over, but we can still watch my nephews. Her first response was a snide, "She would never do something like that," to which I responded that I witnessed it. This is where I really got pissed. When she couldn't come up with another excuse, she said, "I don't like how he is drawing attention to his private area. That's very inappropriate around kids."
What?
Referring to the damn ice pack. Before I lost it, I said she was disgusting and that she needed to get her kids and leave, which thankfully she did. But then a short time later, our mother calls me, fuming, saying that I'm being an asshole and overreacting. I told her that... Ooh, sorry.
Parents.
I told her that for as long as she keeps that opinion before even hearing our side, that she's not welcome either. I said we can all have a discussion about boundaries and expectations, But until then, don't contact us, especially to ask for help. I don't really think so, but am I the asshole?
That's tough. I don't know about the whole banning them from the house thing. I think that's kind of a lot. And I think... And the whole... my nephews can come, but my niece can't thing kind of strikes home with me. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all. I think that is a shitty thing to do. I understand that your husband got kicked in the nuts, but it's also an 11-year-old with behavior problems that you know has behavioral problems.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think that an 11-year-old can control their strength to the level to where they're going to pull a punch on the nuts if they're angry, or a kick to the nuts if they're angry, that it doesn't matter how hard they were hit. If they weren't hit with an object, I don't see, like if you're going to punch somebody in the nuts as an 11-year-old, you're going to punch them hard. Like, yeah. I'm sorry. That's just how that's going to be.
Absolutely. I think everyone's kind of an asshole in this situation.
Yeah, I think they're messy. I think they're all very messy.
It is I, agree with it's important to talk about boundaries.
Yeah,
and
duh,
respect
but it's also
and
not your kid.
But it's also not your kid.
Yeah.
I think you're more than welcome to have, rules for your house. You are not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing that shit here.
It's fine to have rules for your house, and if they can't be followed, you should be reprimanded in your own home by your parent.
Yeah. I think that's if
it continues to be an issue, then none of them can come over for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Singling the one out is not going to help the behavior problems. I can tell you that because I know that firsthand.
You're just gonna ruin your relationship with that person, for sure. I think my thing is that's when if you're watching anybody's kids consistently,
mm-hmm.
that's when you have conversations with the parents about, okay, what is your technique for bad behavior or discipline or anything like that. Do you do timeouts? Do you do this? Is it taking the iPad away? Is it just having conversations? What is it natural? What is it? And then you go with that. You have your rules, and the punishments is what fits with what that child receives normally.
Yeah, and that's it's so it does really hit home for me because that reason in and of itself is one of the biggest reasons why I don't know my sisters at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not really my story to tell, so I won't go into too many details, but it was a similar situation, and it just kind of led to...
I'm so sorry.
You're a piece of shit.
I do not mean to laugh, but our son is taking his pinky and smacking himself in the face.
I see him.
I'm sorry.
You are the asshole.
I am the asshole.
I'm trauma dumping right now.
Go ahead. I'm good.
No, you know what? Yeah, and you can pick it up. I would have picked it up for you happily, but you want to fucking...
I'm sorry. Can you please pick it? I'm really, really sorry. I got very distracted. Please pick it up.
I really, really... All right, hold on. Oh, Jesus. Where's it at even?
It's just right there. It's right by your foot.
I see it. Here you go.
Thank you. I'm so sorry, but you're absolutely right. I understand why you resonate so much with it.
It's tough. Yeah.
There are updates. Are you ready for the updates?
Yes.
Okay. Update 1. Thanks everyone for the support. I've gotten a lot to think about, and I am reassured that I'm not overreacting. A couple things to note. My husband was not in the bedroom with her. He was telling her to go to our room for a timeout, which is what we normally do. He is taking off work to go to urgent care this morning because he's still in a lot of pain. I think my sister's allegation is that so she can trick herself into believing she ended babysitting with us instead of the other way around. My mom has always been more supportive of her. So the more I think about it, the less I'm surprised by how she immediately took my sister's side. I haven't spoke to either of them and don't plan to. Update. Again, sorry.
Okay.
Good, bad, and ugly. The bad is the urgent care sent hubby straight to the ER, at which point I left work to go join him. One of his testicles was dislocated.
Nice.
But thankfully, it didn't ascend too far.
Yep.
With some pain meds, a doctor was able to push it back into place.
I was scared at first because they said surgery would be an option if this didn't work, but thankfully it did. The good is that we are now home and he's feeling much better, but still kind of bruised. I told him lots of internet strangers were invested in the well-being of his manhood, which made him belly laugh. The ugly is, and I'm standing by him on this, is he absolutely does not want to give any medical bills to my sister. His point is that she will likely retaliate even worse than just being confronted with what her daughter did, and I agree. So in that sense, we are stuck. I didn't get the full story before, but essentially when he told her to give him the tablet, she turned away from him and kicked her leg back. He said he got her heel. She's also not little for her age, and I'm just glad it wasn't worse.
It's a fat 11-year-old. It's the fucking do the roar kid.
Yeah. Boundaries are set. As much as we love the kids, we're just not going to have to get okay with seeing anyone. Yeah. That took my brain a minute.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
tough.
I'm sorry.
Dislocated nuts, that's a pretty serious issue.
Yeah. Like, this isn't just like an 11-year-old punching you in the nuts. She turned around.
That's a mule kick.
And heel stomped him and dislocated his balls.
Yeah. You don't like to see that. Nope.
So, I'm sorry, my kid does something like that. Like, my kid hurts any adult.
I am genuinely surprised I have not gotten a dislocated nut yet.
Me too. But I'm sorry, my kid does some shit like that. I am apologizing.
Yeah.
Like, to and fro.
Yes.
Like, that might be a time I beat my kid.
I was going to say, the whole thing, like, he's the real victim here.
Yeah.
He got a dislocated nut and he got accused of being a pedophile.
Yeah, right? That's horrible. Poor dude.
This poor dude.
Like, do I think the sister, like, OP was overreacting a bit? Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. But, in my opinion, using some of, like, the in-between-the-lines context, I feel like there's more going on than just this one incident.
Oh, definitely. When she said that.
Yeah.
There's a history of behavior problems.
Yeah. So, like, it seems like she's probably addressed, the niece's behavior multiple times with the mom, and she still hasn't done anything for her daughter's behavior. Mm-hmm. It's just going to, again, as they get bigger, it's just going to continue to get worse.
More communication will never be a bad thing, though. I think, honestly, talking more with her mother would have been beneficial as well. Communicating more with her parents about the situation ahead of time. That way, there's a little bit more of an understanding that it's a build-up to something like this other than just some sort of isolated incident like the sister's trying to paint it out to be. I'm so glad we have level-headed parents.
Oh my god,
Can we talk about that?
Just so glad.
Jesus. There's very little favoritism when it comes to our parents. Now. Now that we're all adults.
Yeah.
They, and with my mom especially, she's constantly trying to gas all of us up and make us all look as good as possible.
It's so very obvious that Zach was the favorite growing up. Your mom will even say that.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's reasons for that, but
it's because he was normal.
Well, I'm not normal.
Ish.
Let's be real here.
In comparison,
you could make that argument, but I think it's more or less just because I put a conscious effort into not being a thorn in her side on purpose, which kind of caused some issues with me internally. But I very, very much made it a point growing up to not be an inconvenience to her because she had to deal with all this other stuff going on with, my other brothers' medical and behavior issues because of their medical issues and just the bills and not having a lot of money. And it was obvious that it was very, very obvious she was very stressed out for the vast majority of my childhood. Mm-hmm. So I made a very conscious effort to not be a pain in the dick and just hang out in my room. So I think because I was kind of out of the way, it was kind of easy for her to think of me that way just because I was the smallest pain in the ass.
Yeah.
My grades were terrible, but other than that, I did okay. I did all right for her.
My I don't think my mom so much has had like a favorite, but my bio dad and my bio dad's family.
Dude, oh my fucking god, that is ridiculous.
If it's between me and my brother, it was my brother.
Yeah.
But if it was between me, my brother, and our cousin, who's close to my age, it would have been my cousin. Like the favoritism was insane. But you can tell them like golden childs, like from the black sheep of the family, kind of.
Yeah.
Not a lot of family. You know, I feel like it is less common than people make it seem on the internet.
What?
Like the idea of a golden child.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's much less common than what you see on the internet.
I feel like that's just because every child wants to believe that they don't have that privilege.
Yeah.
That they don't have the privilege of being loved equally.
Exactly.
They always want to feel like they're disadvantaged some way. That way,
they're either advantaged or disadvantaged. Like either I am the golden child or oh my gosh, I could never be.
Yeah, and me, I always wanted to think of myself as not that. I kind of had a complex about that growing up. I didn't want to be the golden child. I just wanted to be left alone.
Yeah.
For the most part. So, like, hearing now, like, oh, you're your mom's favorite, I still have a little bit of hesitation because I know back in the day that was true. You know, now it's a much, much more even playing field, but...
It's easy to be the favorite when you have the first grandchild.
That's true, but it's also easy to be the favorite when you're, you know...
Here, you can... I've already read this story, but I think...
chipping the paint off the walls. Okay.
I've already read this one, but I think you will love it.
Let's do some light reading, shall we? Ladies and gents. Oh, fuck. I still have that booger way deep in my sinus. It is driving me insane, dude. I'm also... I don't know what happened, but I just got... I think it's because it's dusty in here. I need to do some cleaning. I got so congested as soon as we started. Like, my fucking nostrils have just clogged up. I feel so bad because I'm, like, doing the sniffing thing into the mic, and it's so gross. I'm trying not to, though, I promise. Am I the asshole for getting high so my relatives don't try and pawn their children on me? I'm going to say this right now. No. You are not the asshole.
No.
I live in British Columbia, and my family often hosts at our home because we live on a lake. It's a good place. However, I seem to always get roped into watching the kids, which means I don't get to enjoy my life when we have guests. My husband will drink beer with his brother and dad, and my mother-in-law and sister-in-law will go on winery visits, and I end up at the house responsible for my nieces and nephews. So last weekend I made sure I was high as fuck when they showed up. My husband and his brother had to watch the kids because I was in no condition. Their mom is pissed at me because she trusts me to make better choices. I told her that my free time is valuable and I wasn't free childcare. My husband had already had a few, so his brother had to stay sober. Poor baby. My husband thinks I should have tried talking to them again for the 50th time instead of getting fucked up. I think they now know better than to not ask me if I even want to watch the kids. Yeah. I think you're a dick, but I don't think you're an asshole.
I think you're a justified. If anything, I think you're a justified ass. If you're any kind of asshole, it's a justified asshole. Especially if you've already made multiple communications that you don't want to be the one stuck with the kids. I'm sorry, they're your kids. It's your responsibility. If anything, grandma needs to be the one that's staying sober. Grandma. Not the aunt. Not aunt.
Oh, shit.
Also,
I'm dying over
here's
here.
my question. Because I've read the comments. And there is a comment that mentions, like, so you can't have a beer or two and, keep an eye on your kids?
Yeah. And I mean, I guess it depends on how old they are. Oh, Jesus. How many of them there are.
Yeah, and, can you
I'm
not...
exploding right now.
Can you not... if they're that young, can you not just wait until after they go to bed?
Oh! It's never ending. It's terrible. Oh, sorry. There's so many boogers. Let's do one more.
One more?
Yeah, I can't do this much longer. I'm gonna die.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Oh my god. having a fucking allergy attack. Oh, it's terrible. I'm all phlegmed up and shit. And nobody wants to hear that. I have sensory issues just hearing people, or just listening to people eat food. I can't imagine.
Okay, so I have a couple that you can pick from. I'll give you 3.
Please.
From different subreddits.
Hit me.
So this is from r/pregnant. Baby shower ... Is this normal? r/off my chest. I lost my Minecraft husband.
Baby.
Or
Fuck. Or
give me a second. I'm trying to find.
because I already know my answer.
I know you do. Or am I the asshole for my reaction for the news of the new grandchild coming and telling them to get their shit together?
Definitely Minecraft husband.
I knew it.
Definitely. We've done all sorts of parenting shit this time around.
We have.
This isn't a strictly parenting podcast, even though it kind of is right now.
Is not. All right, you ready? So off my chest is very similar to like truth off my chest. Yeah. I'm not just telling you, I'm telling everybody if they haven't heard it.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. He was just asleep.
I'm sorry.
Your sneezes woke him up.
Listen, dude. I can't help it. I am literally leaking from every pore of my body right now.
So this is my favorite. I, 18 female, used to talk to this guy all the time on Minecraft Pocket Edition.
Aww.
On this server called Happy Party.
Aww.
I was 10 at the time, he was 13. So around 8 years ago at this point, we used to go around repairing griefed houses.
Aww.
Eventually he proposed and we got married. Obviously we were just silly kids at the time, but it was really cute and he was a super nice guy. We exchanged first names and told each other what countries we were from. His name is Andrew and he's from Australia. He would be 21.
Andy.
He would be 21 now probably, and that's all I know. The server randomly got shut down one day, so we never got to keep in contact. I've been looking for him ever since, and every time it pops into my mind, I get sad thinking about the fact that we never got back in touch. Please help.
Oh my god.
Update. His gamer tag was DrewEH. Mine was Flatastic. And just to clarify, we did not talk for 8 years. It's been 8 years since I have talked to him. We talked for a few months on the server.
That's adorable.
Next update. No update yet, guys. I'm sorry. I was hoping one of those big Reddit TikTok accounts might post this, as there's a better chance of him seeing it then. So far, nothing, though. I'll look at their account to see if anything's been posted. Nope.
So,
nothing.
Who was your first online date?
My first online date?
It doesn't have to be Minecraft, but strictly virtual relationship. Obviously nothing serious, like...
I don't remember his name.
Because I know you had to have had a few.
Listen,
you were a little floozy.
Mm-hmm.
You're a little floozy.
A little. I'd like to say I was romantic, but whatever. No, it was this guy, and I cannot for the life of me remember his name. But we met on Omegle.
Oh no.
Yeah, and we talked for like a couple months.
Yeah.
And he was like a year or two older than me.
He's always older. They're always older.
And I can't remember where he was from, but...
I know my first one.
What?
Roblox.
Of course it was Roblox.
Let me think of the name.
I should say that I never played online games until recently.
They were, Aerith. Like Final Fantasy VII.
Oh.
Aerith. And we played... I think it was one of the old... I think it was a Dragon Ball Z game where you could like level up and shit. and all that. And, like, we met on there. And we started talking. And then, after, like, a couple of months, she would, like, ask me to play some of her favorite games. So I would do that. Mostly just, like, survive this, that, or, like, a horror map. But there was one that she really, really loved and got super into. And it was, like, I think it was called Vampire Roleplay. But I was really embarrassed to click on it because if anybody saw that I was playing Vampire Roleplay, they would know that it wasn't for me because that kind of stuff wasn't really my bag necessarily. No shame for people it was, but growing up that just wasn't really my thing. Some of them I did like. There was a couple of them that were really well made.
Like role-playing games? Or
Yeah, I would never take part in the roleplay itself, but I would always kind of just go through the motions of it. Like, there was a high school one that was, like, really well put together, and there was, like, phones and stuff, and it was really well made. So I did play that a few times. But this vampire one had, like, different attacks and stuff you could do and all sorts of that. And so I started playing this vampire roleplay game with her. And she started getting really into the vampire roleplay. And I was like, oh, this is tough. But I was doing some simp shit. So I was trying to go along with it, but I wasn't really good at it. Because, like I said, I wasn't really accustomed to the whole roleplay thing. So, like, I wasn't into it. And I think she could tell. So she cheated on me with a vampire. And
what?
And I was crushed for, like, a month and a half.
Horrible.
Because we had talked for almost a year. And I was in, like, 6th grade.
I was literally about to ask how old you were.
Yeah, I was in, like,
fall
6th.
asleep
I was in
yet?
6th grade, and we were both in 6th grade. And yeah, she cheated on me with a vampire in vampire roleplay, and I was inconsolable for like a month and a half.
I was that, like, I don't want to say that was me, but, like, I was that kid, though. I loved role-playing stuff.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all, dude.
I loved it.
Not in the slightest.
But, like, I was also the one who would read, like, Wattpad stories. That was, like, Y/N, like, your name.
Yeah.
Wattpad stories.
What, were you into Homestuck?
I was not.
Oh, what?
I could never figure out, if I'm being honest, I could never figure out what it was.
When I first moved to the high school I ended up graduating from, I got mixed up with a strange group of people before I found my group of friends. A very strange, antisocial... Because the school I was at before that, I did not have many good experiences. I was into a lot of... I was into the stereotypical fight
Club.
culture. Yeah. We won't... Yeah. But, yeah. I was into we'll call it the fight culture. We'll call it the fight culture of an urban high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was into that kind of thing. And I was very angry. And I was even more pissed off because I had just been cheated on in the last relationship I was in.
He has a thing for evil redheads.
So I was spiteful. I was mad. I was kind of a twerp. So, like, you know, I was kind of a whatever. So, like, when I moved to this new school, I moved around a whole lot growing up. So every time I would move school, I would try something different if I felt like it didn't work out at my last school for a certain reason. If I felt like I was doing something wrong at my last school, I would try to change my behavior a little bit to try and become better. Mm-hmm. And my way of doing it this time was because I was very spiteful and angry. I kind of was just like, I'm just going to keep to myself this time because I was a little bit too much before.
And that's why everyone thought he was a school shooter.
Yes. So I was very much just I guess I'll say the quiet kid without really being the quiet kid. Mm-hmm. Where it was one of those things where I would be very, very quiet, but it would strictly be one of those things where I would not initiate conversation. You know, like, but if you would start talking to me, I would talk a lot because that's just how I am.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember.
I do remember.
It was the same kind of thing. I didn't talk a whole lot, but then we started talking, and now I won't shut up.
Yeah. Almost 6 years later, and he still doesn't shut up.
I do not shut up. Yeah. But, And this group that I got mixed up in there was very, very... I don't like to use the word cringe because we were kids. But they were fucking... They would be wearing tails if they were at high school these days, for sure. They would be the tail-wearing folks. But they were the first ones to approach me and initiate conversation and actually try to get to know me, which I appreciated. So I hung out with them for a little while, for like the first half of the first school year I was there.
Yeah.
That was kind of my little group. And they were super into Homestuck. And there's a character. I still don't really know about Homestuck. I know it's a webcomic series thing, whatever. It's a multimedia type thing. But I know there's I think there's a character called Egbert, if I remember right.
Egbert?
Here. Yeah, let me actually... Hold on. I know this is weird, but it's the end of the podcast, and I'm just going to go ahead and do some fuck shit real quick, if you don't mind.
Sure.
We'll make it weird at the end. Let me look up Homestuck. Is it Egbert?
I literally never read Homestuck. I couldn't figure out what it was. But I was big into cosplay in high school. So it overlapped, you know. The Homestuck kids overlapped with like the cosplaying kids because they cosplayed Homestuck a lot.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can...
If you can bring it up there.
I might be able to. Here, hold on. I know what I need to do.
Can you just screen share?
I might be able to. It's a little busted right now.
Oh.
So I'll give it a whirl. But let me try hitting the live scene and see if that works. Yeah. This is Egbert. This is who they thought I was. Was this fucking guy right here. I don't know what he's about or anything. I guess I'm using this as an opportunity or like a cry for help. Is Egbert a pedophile? Is he a criminal? Is he somebody I should be worried about? I don't know. But if you do know, please let me know. I need to know.
Help a dude out.
Please. I need to know what they were trying to say about me. Okay. I think we're done.
I think so. It was a good time back.
You know what?
We had surprise guest, Baby T.
I always have fun when we do these. Sadly, I do feel like I'm about to explode, so I should quit because I don't like listening to people who have the sniffles talk.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine a lot of people do. So, probably just be better for me to shut up.
That's fine, and we need to get little dude to sleep.
True, he is fucking bouncing all over the place over there. So let's take care of that. All right. Bye.
Bye.